Part 12. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo Yet. Chapter 111. Rensuya said coldly, "Isn't what I said clear enough? Or do you no longer understand human language? It's not surprising that a group of people who are worse than animals don't understand." In her previous life, she still remembers their ugly faces. In her previous life, after her grandparents died, Konglji, the scumbag father, brought his mistress into the house. Instead of dissuading her, these people ridiculed and accused her mother of being ignorant. The eldest aunt kept persuading her, "Suya, you are too ignorant. It is normal for a man to have a woman outside. You are not kicked out of the house. You should be content. Why are you still making trouble here?" The second aunt even poked her mother in the heart, "What mistress, mistress, in love, the one who is not loved is the mistress. My brother-in-law and Fengru are truly in love. You are the third party who interfered with their love. If you know the general situation, you should withdraw instead of making trouble here." The sister-in-law even called Ruan Fengru the third sister-in-law in front of her mother, and called her mother by her full name. They didn't remember the kindness of their mother to them in the past. Perhaps in their eyes, this was what they deserved because of Konglji. They knew very early that Ruan Fengru, the mistress, had helped her scumbag father and concealed her mother. When I think of the past, I still don't want to let this group of people have an easy life. After she was reborn, she secretly swore in her heart that she would make those who repay kindness with enmity pay the price. The blood-sucking worms of the Kong family are one of them. She had to deal with the scum father and the mistress, eliminate the fate, and control the company, so she had no time to pay attention to them. Now she is finally free, and has time to play with them. "Aunt San, you can't take it out on us just because your sister-in-law hurt you." Kong Yu frowned in dissatisfaction. "Aunt San, you are taking your anger out on us." Kong Lin pouted, unconvinced. "These guys don't seem to realize the seriousness of this matter." "Taking your anger out," Ren Ran said, "don't you know that taking something without asking is considered stealing? You stole it blatantly, and you still have the nerve to shout here." Ren Ran looked at the ruby necklace on Kong Lin's neck. That was the only precious jewelry that Konglji, the scum father, gave her. She is not afraid of being crushed to death by a piece of jewelry worth 18 million. As for what Kong Yu was wearing around her neck and on her hands, there was a piece of jewelry worth 5 million and a Patek Philippe watch worth 2,800,000. Her eyes swept over the eldest aunt and the second aunt, who naturally had a lot more precious jewelry on them. These people probably still don't understand that what they were wearing was not jewelry, but handcuffs. "What do you mean by stealing? Ran, why are you talking so harshly?" Ran snorted coldly, "Whether it was stealing or not, let's let the police tell us." She turned to look at Aunt Li. "Aunt Li, call the police and say someone stole jewelry worth more than 50 million. In addition, tell the police that someone was deliberately murdering." Aunt Li couldn't wait any longer. She had long disliked these people. They were maids hired by the Ren family, not people they hired. They yelled at her one by one, as if she was their maid, and they didn't respect her at all. "Okay," Miss Aunt Li happily took out her mobile phone and dialed the number. "What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her." Author, Mo Yet. Chapter 112. Seeing that they were serious, the three families panicked. The arrogance that they had before was mostly dissipated in an instant. The eldest uncle wanted to put pressure on her as the eldest brother, third sister-in-law, "We are all family, do you really want to make such a mess?" The second uncle hurried over to make peace, "Third sister-in-law, calm down. If you have anything to say, let's sit down and talk it out as a family. There is no misunderstanding that cannot be solved. There is no need to use the police and waste police resources." Rensuya was unmoved, Wait for the police to come. The sister-in-law was holding her breath in her heart, and finally couldn't hold it back. Third sister-in-law, Xiao, I didn't push you, how can you frame him? He is still so young, how can you, as an elder, have the nerve to argue with him? The second aunt picked up the phone and called Konglji directly, wanting Konglji to come forward. Unfortunately, no one answered the phone. Kongyu walked to her parents and whispered, "Don't be afraid, they are just scaring us. With Uncle San here, they dare not really do anything to us." After Kongyu's reminder, the second aunt's family was calm and not afraid at all. Aunt Li had already made a call and told the story. Because the amount involved was huge, and this was a wealthy area, there was a police station next to it, so the police were very fast. In less than 5 minutes, the police arrived at the villa. Aunt Li pointed at the second uncle and his group, "Comrade police, it was them who stole the young lady's jewelry. Look at the jewelry on their necks. That ruby necklace is worth 18 million. She pointed at the jewelry on Kong Lin's neck. When the Kong family heard the value of the necklace, they widened their eyes, especially Kong Lin's eyes were full of greed. According to the previous practice, this necklace belongs to her. Kong Yu coveted the ruby necklace on her neck, and hated why he was slower than her before. Aunt Li pointed at the extra things on the other people and said the price one by one. Every time she said a price, the policeman's eyebrows jumped, but the Kong family was happy. After so many years of feeding, they have developed a habit and feel that anything they wear can be taken away. Even if the mother and daughter of the Ren family disagree, with Konglji, the head of the family, they are not afraid of not being able to take it away. Aunt Li pointed at Zhang Yi again, "Comrade police, it was he who deliberately pushed our wife down the stairs. He is so vicious at such a young age, you must punish him severely." Kong Maixiang's husband hurriedly said, "Comrade police, these are all misunderstandings. We are all relatives and a family. There are some misunderstandings here, and we can solve them ourselves. You have made a wasted trip." As he said that, he was about to send them away. Several police officers ignored him and looked at the parties involved. "What do you say?" Ren said, "Uncle police, they took advantage of us not being at home and went upstairs to steal our jewelry. We asked them to return it, but they didn't listen and wanted to take it for themselves. Taking it without asking is considered stealing. No, they are not stealing, they are robbing openly." Ren Suya followed up, "I hope you will deal with it according to the law." The 4 police officers saw that they had no intention of letting them go, but considering the relationship between them, they asked again as a routine and kindly reminded, "Are you sure you want us to deal with it according to the law? The amount involved is huge. If you want to be sentenced, it will start from 10 years. Small theater. Bayazai 1, ah. Why don't you pack up these top-notch items and keep them for the new year? Bayazai 2, why is it so funny? They can take jewelry. Can't they lock it up? Mo yet. Who am I? Where am I? Master Mo, well, baby, what I just said should be a joke, right? You didn't really see it, did you? This is a trap. A trap for the Kong family. There are many foreshadowings in the previous text, and they are all very superficial, not buried very deeply. Master Mo, that, you really didn't see it, did you? Master Mo, I thought everyone understood, but I didn't expect, I was naive, no, let me spit out blood first, let me take a break. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she Mo yet. Chapter 113. The Kong family was shocked and angry when they heard that they would be sentenced to more than 10 years. Third brother and sister-in-law, Are you serious? The eldest aunt stared. If not for real, then what about pretending? Comrade police, we are relatives, this is not stealing. Besides, thieves are not so open, so this is not stealing. Ren nodded. Second uncle, you are right, you are not stealing, you are robbing openly. She winked at Aunt Lee, and Aunt Lee understood immediately. Comrade police, they are too bad. They deliberately pushed the lady down and sent her away. They went upstairs to rob property, and we went to intercept them. They pushed us away. Look, this is what they hurt me when they pushed me. Aunt Lee rolled up her sleeves to expose her arms, which were clearly bruised by the impact. Lies. Police comrade, don't listen to them. These people are full of nonsense. They clearly hurt themselves, but they have to blame us. How can you be so mean? A group of people were arguing, making the 4 police officers feel overwhelmed. All of you go back to the police station. The Kong family stared, still not understanding why they had to go to the police station. The cousin Kong Xiao was not very old, only about 8 years old. Seeing that his parents and sister were about to be taken away by the police, he rushed towards Ren like a little fire dragon, waving a golf club in his hand. I'll beat you to death, you bad woman. Ren didn't expect Kong Xiao to rush over suddenly. Seeing that the golf club was about to hit her head, she quickly stepped back. A young police officer standing not far from Ren reacted the fastest and grabbed his golf club. Let go, Kong Xiao roared. After Ren stood firm, he stared at the naughty child with cold eyes. The little brat destroyed the Lego she had been building for half a year, and now he is still so rampant. If he can't avoid it, or the police don't catch him, the texture of the golf club will cause a concussion on the head, or a bloody head. If it hurts the eyes and other fragile parts, it will be unimaginable. Kong Xiao felt a little weak under Ren's cold eyes, and subconsciously let go of his hand and got into his parents' arms. The second aunt hugged her little son and apologized hurriedly. Ran, the child is ignorant, don't bother with him. Ren Suya, who was still in shock, heard her words, and her blood pressure rose. The child is ignorant, are you adults ignorant too? If something really happens to my Ran, I want you to pay with your lives. Mom, calm down. Ren held her hand and comforted her softly. Kong Xiao had been spoiled by his parents for a long time and was lawless. Ren Suya also spoiled him in the past, which led to him not being afraid of Ren Suya at all, let alone Ran. It is true that there are bad parents behind bad kids. Ren restrained the urge to beat him up. It was unwise to do it in front of the police, not to mention that once he did it, they might catch him and ruin his plan. The second uncle grabbed Kong Xiao by the collar and hit him hard on the back. Kong Xiao felt very wronged. Dad, why did you hit me? They want the police to take you away, they are bad guys. Dad, didn't you say that everything here belongs to our Kong family? We took, woo. The rest of the words were all blocked. The second uncle hurriedly covered his son's mouth to stop him from talking nonsense. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 114. Kong Xiao hadn't finished speaking yet, but who on the scene couldn't hear what he was going to say next. Ren Suya was so angry that she trembled all over, and her hands unconsciously clenched. This was the family she treated well, and this was the family she had always maintained close ties with. It was really ridiculous. Before their Ren family died, their Kong family regarded all of this as their assets. She suddenly remembered the past life her daughter had mentioned. In the past life, only Ran was left in their Ren family. No, that's not right, in the end Ran also followed. It can be said that all of their Ren family members died, and the Kong family really did it, taking all of this for themselves. These people had been planning to eat up the whole family and swallow up the Ren family from the beginning. She regarded them as relatives, but they regarded them as obstacles. Back then, they were really blind, letting the wolf into the house, killing their parents and their daughter. The four policemen looked at each other and knew what was going on. The second aunt smiled and said, "The child is talking nonsense." "Suya, Ran, don't take it seriously." Ran sneered. Suya looked gloomy and ignored them. "Let's go," the four police officers said to the three families. The Kong family was taken away. Ran planned to take only Aunt Li with him, but Suya disagreed and insisted on following them. They drove there by themselves, and soon arrived at the police station after leaving the villa area. "Aunt Li, have you brought everything?" Aunt Li patted her chest and said, "Miss, don't worry, everything you told me to do has been arranged properly." 70 to 80% of today's development went according to her plan, except that her mother's injury was an accident, which could have made the game more perfect and left the other party with no loopholes. With the powerful lawyer team of the Ren family, I think they can fill this gap. All the people were taken to the police station. The Kong family was large, so they were arranged in a large rest area, and Ran and her daughter were arranged on the other side. There were police officers on both sides to take their statements. "Comrade police, we are all relatives. If we were thieves, why would they open the door for us and serve us tea? This is totally unreasonable, don't you think? We just wore their jewelry and didn't really take it away, so this doesn't count as stealing, right? If we really stole things, how could we dare to stay at home and wait for them, so their statement is completely nonsense." Several police officers took notes for them. "Do you have anything else to add?" "No." Several people shook their heads. "Comrade police, our situation doesn't count as theft, right?" Second aunt asked worriedly. "If what you said is true and you get the other party's forgiveness, there is no big problem with this matter. However, if the other party can prove that you have subjectively robbed and occupied, you will be held legally responsible." The Kong family breathed a sigh of relief when they heard this. They were relieved. As soon as the police left, Kong Lin pouted and complained, "What bad luck. I've never been to the police station. Dad, when Uncle San comes back, you must ask him to give me the necklace. I like that necklace very much." Kong Lin felt very painful when she returned the necklace worth 18 million. She had clearly worn it on herself, why should she return it? The eldest son of the Kong family smiled and said, "Don't worry, I'll tell you." The second son of the Kong family was not convinced, but he didn't say anything. He just thought in his mind how much benefit they should get after the third son came back, and the amount must not be less than that of the eldest son. In another room, the police asked Aunt Li and another maid in detail about the situation in the villa. After all, they were both there at the time. Suya's question was about whether it was a push that caused her to roll down the stairs. If the claim was intentional, evidence must be provided. "I saw the child push the lady with my own eyes," the maid Ziyawai said firmly. "Are you sure?" "Sure." "Tell me the details of what happened at that time," the female police officer asked. Ziyawai recounted the situation in detail. At this moment, the door was knocked, and the police officer in charge of questioning the Kong family came in. "You two, I just asked about the situation over there. They claimed that they were just trying on your clothes and jewelry, and now they are willing to return them. This incident did not cause any losses. Do you think you should ask the other party to apologize and let this matter pass, or?" The police officer looked at the two. "Moya has experienced this style, so I won't go into details." "What do they mean, they didn't steal or rob?" "Yes," the police officer nodded. Another police officer said, "You are all relatives, there is no need to." Before he could finish his words, Ran interrupted, "We have evidence to prove that they robbed and stole openly." Without Ran speaking, Aunt Li skillfully put the USB flash drive with several minutes of surveillance video in front of them. After watching it, several police officers understood whether they were just trying it on or really wanted to take it for themselves. The USB flash drive was inserted into the computer, and the police officers watched the video one by one. The video is divided into 3 parts. The first video is at the door to the bedroom. In this video, several maids, led by Aunt Lee, blocked the door and dissuaded them from breaking into the room privately, and emphasized that the lady forbade anyone to enter. The arrogant faces of the Kong family were clearly captured by the surveillance camera. They shouted that the things inside belonged to them, pushed Aunt Lee and others to the ground, and forced their way into the room. The second video was in the bedroom. It can be clearly seen in the room that several people were just browsing around as if they were visiting their own home. When they saw something good, several people directly snatched it, and even almost fought to snatch things. During the quarrel, it was inevitable to speak wildly again. Especially Aunt Lee said in the back that they couldn't take it away. These were the young lady's favorite jewelry, and you couldn't take it away. And what this group of people would say, you can imagine. Even if they didn't say it, Aunt Lee would guide them to say it. However, Aunt Lee didn't use the second plan, and these people were exposed directly. The third video was in the living room. After Ren Ran came back, he asked them to return it, but they refused to return it. The 3 videos before and after are enough to prove that they were robbing openly, not trying it on. After watching them, several police officers were silent. Originally, I wanted to make a big thing small and solve this matter as soon as possible, but now it seems that this matter is not so easy to solve. Aunt Lee took out another video. Officer, this is evidence that Zhang Yi deliberately pushed the lady down the stairs, you see. Fortunately, the young lady was thoughtful and installed invisible pinhole cameras inside and outside the villa, in order to get their evidence in 360 degrees without blind spots. It is precisely because of this 360-degree and 65-degree layout that Zhang Yi's evil hands can be clearly captured from multiple angles. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, She Yet. Chapter 115. This is an injury report. Aunt Lee neatly put the things on the table for them to check. Several police officers looked at such sufficient evidence, and even if they wanted to open their mouths to resolve each other's problems, they could not do so. Their attitude has been set here. One of the police officers said, "Are you going to pursue it to the end?" "Yes." Just then, there was a knock on the door. The door opened, and a police officer was followed by 3 elite men and women in neat suits. The leaders were Gao Ying and the famous gold medal lawyer in Haishi, and behind him was his assistant. "Here we come." Ren Ran looked at a few people. Gao Ying walked forward with a smile. "Madam, little miss." The tall and erect elite man beside Gao Ying took out his business card and said, "Police officers, I am the attorney for the parties, Ms. Ren Suya and Ms. Ren Ran, and I will be solely responsible for the following matters." On the way here, Gao Ying had handed over all the evidence to the lawyer and stated their real demands. Lawyer Zhou knew what he was doing, so he was able to deal with the Kong family with ease. Lawyer Zhou followed 2 police officers into the lounge. When the Kong family saw Lawyer Zhou, they only glanced at him and didn't care. When the auntie saw the police officer coming, she hurriedly asked, "When will you let us leave? When can we leave? The children already want to go to bed." Ernie followed. "Don't worry, everyone, the matter has not been resolved yet." "Why hasn't it been resolved yet? Haven't we already returned the things to her? What else remains unresolved?" The aunt was very angry and felt that the police were not doing anything. "If you hadn't given it, the matter would have been settled. According to our investigation, you have been suspected of robbery." "What?" The Kong family was dumbfounded, thinking that they had heard wrongly. "What did you just say? Didn't we say we were stealing before? Why is it now a robbery? Comrade police officers, have you made a mistake? How come we were robbed? The uncle glared angrily. Are you policemen trying to frame us like this because they took advantage of them? The aunt scolded them directly and threw a bucket of shit at them. The police officer had a dark face and did not scold the other party. He said in a deep voice, "The other party has provided evidence to prove your malicious and illegal misappropriation of other people's property. This has constituted the crime of robbery." Before they started shouting, the police officer pointed at Lawyer Joe. "This is the attorney hired by Ms. Rensuya and Ms. Ran. The Kong family felt like they were struck by thunder. "Where is Rensuya? Where is she? We need to see her and call her out. Where is she hiding? Tell her to come out. How could anyone treat their own family members like this? Why is this person so cruel?" The eldest uncle put her hands on her hips and began to scold her. Call the third child quickly and ask him to take care of his wife," the uncle directed the second uncle. The second uncle has been contacting Konglji, but Konglji's mobile phone has been turned off and he has never been able to contact him. "Have you contacted me yet?" "No. You guys take turns calling, and you must get through the phone today." Upon seeing this, Kong Maiziang's family quietly distanced themselves from them. "Officer, can we go? We haven't taken anything." The police officer looked at them with regret. "You can't either." "Why?" Without the police officers speaking, Lawyer Joe answered for them. "You too, your son Zhang Yi is suspected of intentional injury. In view of Zhang Yi's young age, as his guardian, you must bear legal responsibility." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, She Yet. Chapter 116. She accidentally fell it. What does it have to do with us? You can't favor them just because they have money. Our children are so young, how can we have any bad intentions? Kong Maiziang and his wife tried their best to defend their son. If you don't believe it, you can ask my eldest brother and second brother. They all saw that my son didn't push anyone, she fell down by herself. But no matter how they defend themselves, they cannot change the facts in the face of irrefutable evidence. Lawyer Joe said to the two police officers, "I want to talk to them alone." The two police officers had been quarreling with the Kong family for a long time, so they could go out to take a breather. Before leaving, the police officer reminded, "Be careful when you speak and don't be too aggressive." Clear. After the police officers left, the Kong family could not contact Konglji and could not see Rensuya, so they had no choice but to capture him. What does Rensuya mean? Does she really want to kill everyone? The uncle's face was gloomy. You committed robbery and you committed intentional injury. If you don't want to go to jail, you might as well listen to my solution. The Kong family calmed down and sat down to listen to what he said. Lawyer Joe calmly took out a document from the folder and sent the different documents to the hands of the people who should go there. You have taken a lot of things from the Ren family over the years. Clothes, supplements, etc. The parties involved will not pursue the case, but please return the jewelry and cash you took away within the specified time. If the jewelry is lost, you can pay the market price. Everyone in the Kong family looked at the list in their hands and became uneasy. Having them spit out what they have eaten is even more uncomfortable than cutting their flesh. Don't even think about it. Let us spit it out and dream. You should send us to jail. I want to see if Raitsugu will let her act like this. Lawyer Joe pushed up the glasses on the bridge of his nose and said in a calm tone, "The property you robbed belongs to Ms. Rensuya and Ms. Ran. As long as they insist on suing, Mr. Konglji has no right to interfere. You must think clearly. Well, who has the final say in the Ren family?" The last sentence was to remind them, lest these weak-minded people could not figure it out. "Do you have evidence?" We are not afraid of going to court. Lawyer Joe was very straightforward and directly released a video. This is the evidence. I have more evidence here. Once this evidence is put in court, the judge will definitely sentence him for robbery. You must think clearly. The evidence was before their eyes, leaving the Kong family speechless. When they didn't know what to do, Kong Yu rolled her eyes and whispered in her father's ear, "Dad, promise him that he will get the settlement letter from them first. When we get out, Uncle San will be with those things. It will definitely come to nothing in the end." Kong Liu's eyes lit up. It was his daughter who reacted quickly. "I agree." Kong Loren and his wife stared blankly. "Second brother, are you crazy?" As soon as she finished speaking, Kong Lin received a text message from Kong Yu, and she handed the text message to Kong Loren. After Kong Loren read it, he understood. "Okay, we agree. However, you have to sign a settlement agreement for us." Lawyer Joe noticed the little actions of the Kong family and did not tell them anything. "Yes. However, before signing the letter of understanding, please sign this agreement and return it." Lawyer Joe looked at Kong Maiziang's family and asked, "What are your thoughts?" Naturally, they also received the text message from Kong Yu and nodded in agreement. Lawyer Joe took out the prepared documents from the document bag again, handed them to them respectively, and asked both husband and wife, as well as Kong Lin, Kong Yu, and others to sign. They were all involved in the reasons given by Lawyer Joe. All must be signed. The Kong family pretended to look at the document. The densely packed text and the thick pages gave them a headache. "No problem, just sign it." "Where's the settlement agreement?" Attorney Joe took out 3 settlement documents from the document bag, and the contents written on the first page were clear and concise. He turned directly to the last page. "Ren Suya and Ms. Ren Ran have signed it. Now as long as you sign the agreement, this settlement document will be yours." The 3 brothers and sisters looked at each other and took turns signing their names. 5 minutes later, Lawyer Joe took away the documents and looked at the Kong family with a strange light in his eyes. "What a bunch of idiots. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her." Author, Mo Shi Mo Yet. Chapter 117. Lawyer Joe left in style, leaving behind the Kong family who thought they had gotten an advantage. Gao Ying had been waiting for him outside for a long time. When she saw him coming out, she knew the mission was completed. "Are they not suspicious?" Gao Ying asked casually. Zhou Lu smiled and said, "You underestimate the agreement I personally drew up. If they can see the problem, then he is not qualified to sit among the top 3 gold medal lawyers in the city." He thought of the faces of those families. "Tell the little lady to pay attention, they are holding back their mischief." "I know. I will convey it to you." After separating from Zhou Lu, Gao Ying did not return to the villa, but squatted outside the police station, quietly waiting for the target to appear. On the other side, the Kong family was released, and a group of people stood at the door of the police station, looking at each other. Where to go now? On weekdays, when they come to Haishi, they stay in the Ren family villa, otherwise the Ren family arranges a 5-star hotel for them. Now they are not happy to have to pay for their own money to stay in a hotel. "Mom, aren't we going back to the villa?" Kong Xiaozhen asked seriously. The kid still doesn't understand why they can't go back to the villa. From the time he can remember, his parents have instilled in him the idea that everything there belongs to the Kong family and belongs to their family. Naturally, I don't understand why they can't go there. Kong Liu touched his son's head and said, "We can't go for the time being." "Why? Isn't that ours?" Kong Xiao was puzzled. Kong Liu's wife coaxed, "Son, the place is temporarily occupied by bad guys. When the 3rd uncle comes and defeats the bad guys, we can go there. Now let's go somewhere else to live." Kong Yu said, "We can't go to Ren's house, isn't there Aunt Ruan?" After Kong Yu's reminder, there are still people in Haishi who can be relied on. The second aunt immediately called Ruan Fengru. Ruan Fengru didn't know about the drama that happened in the Ren family, but she did know that the Kong family would come to Haishi to get together every year at the end of the year. Looking at the days, it happened to be the time for the Kong family to come to Haishi, so she called at this time. Ruan Fengru herself was a little surprised. Second sister-in-law Ruan Fengru called out affectionately. "Feng, are you? Something happened here, please come and pick us up. In addition, arrange accommodation for us. We have a total of..." She lost count at once and simply said, "Prepare 4 presidential suites for us." 3 couples shared one room with the younger ones, and the 2 older girls shared one room. 4 presidential suites? Fortunately they can speak out. Second sister-in-law, didn't you go to Ren's house? Ruan Fengru asked tentatively. She had a bad feeling. These idiots wouldn't do anything stupid. Based on her understanding of Ren Suya, she would not take it to heart, let alone care about anything that did not touch her bottom line. That woman had some convulsions and drove us out. Stop being so nagging and hurry up and pick us up. We are at the police station in Kishan Villa. Second sister-in-law, are you? Before she could finish her words, the eldest aunt took the phone from the second aunt and started typing. Stop being so nagging. If you continue to be nagging, believe it or not, I will tell my uncle that you treated us harshly and refused to save us. Ruan Fengru was so angry that her nose almost became crooked. Over the years, Ren Suya has really raised this group of poor ghosts to be arrogant. Okay, I'll come right away. After hanging up the phone, she immediately called Konglji. She didn't want to serve this group of people. However, the phone always remained switched off. Ruan Fengru frowned, stood up reluctantly, and shouted to Kong Lian in the room, "I'm going out." Half an hour later, Ruan Fengru hurried over and called 3 cars. Instead of being grateful to her, the 3 families cursed her. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo Shi Mo Yet. Chapter 118. Why did it come so slowly? Did you deliberately want us to freeze outside? Kong Liu's wife looked down on Ruan Fengru very much. Although she had a sweet mouth, she knew that she was trying to curry favor with her uncle. For a person like this, she could naturally do whatever she wanted. Ruan Fengru was angry, but she didn't dare to say anything more. She knew very well that to argue with these people was to ask for trouble. I live far away from here. You must have been waiting for a long time. Get in the car quickly and go to the hotel. She seemed not to hear their complaints and politely sent these people to the car. Kong Liu's family sat in the same car with her. As soon as they got in the car, Kong Xiao became unhappy. This car is so crowded. It's not as good as the one at third aunt's house. Dad, I like third aunt's car. When third uncle comes back, you tell third uncle that I want their car that can open its wings. Ruan Fengru snorted in her heart. She is young but has a big appetite. She wants a supercar worth 5 or 6 million as soon as she opens her mouth. Kong Liu doted on his younger son and coaxed him, "Okay, I'll let my third uncle give it to you to play with when the time comes." Ruan Fengru asked tentatively, trying to find out what these people had done that caused Ren Suya not to let them in, let alone care about them. I just hope these idiots won't delay their important event. Brother Kong, why are you at the police station? Did something happen? Before the adults could speak, Kong Xiao complained angrily, "It's not that bad woman who actually called the police on us and accused us of stealing things. Those things originally belonged to our Kong family, but now they are only temporarily used by them. How dare they? It's so abominable to call the police to arrest us. I will tell my third uncle later and ask him to beat them." Ruan Fengru's lips twitched slightly, not commenting on his words. "The money in the Ren family is not yours, but hers." "Xiao Xiao, don't say this in front of them," They will be unhappy, Ruan Fengru reminded kindly. Kong Xiao raised his chin. What are you afraid of? I've already told you what they can do to me. Zi La. There was an emergency brake, and several people in the back seat hit the back of the seat. Before the Kong family couple cursed, Ruan Fengru said with a gloomy face, "You said it? When did you say it?" Kong Xiao was frightened by her eyes, and his voice lowered unconsciously, "It's just today." Ruan Fengru mentioned it in one breath. "What are you doing?" Kong Liu's wife held her forehead and glared at her. Ruan Fengru was not in the mood to care whether she was angry or not, and her voice deepened. After Kong Xiao said this, "They kicked you out? Did you do other things?" "None of your business. Drive quickly." Ruan Fengru ignored her and looked directly at Kong Liu. "Second brother Kong, this matter is related to whether Li Ji can inherit the Yaxing group." Mentioning this, Kong Liu sighed. "Actually, it's not a big deal. It was just Zhang Yi's kid who accidentally pushed the woman downstairs. She was fine, too, but she just held on and yelled at us. What a big fire." She almost laughed out of anger. No wonder the good-tempered Ren Suya wanted to drive these people out. Are their brains muddled by shit? If you push someone downstairs, you may become disabled or die. It turned out to be so irrelevant when it came to their mouths. If she were Ren Suya, she would never let them go easily. Now it seems that Ren Suya is really doing the right thing by driving them out of the Ren family. This group of sluggish guys couldn't give Reiki any help, but instead often held him back. Of this group, only Kong Ji could calm them down. It was thanks to his strength that he kept suppressing them, so they didn't get up and down in front of the Ren family all these years. Otherwise, with their brains, their good deeds will be ruined sooner or later. In the end, Kong Ji had to wipe their butts for the trouble left by the Kong family. She could imagine that Kong Ji had to humble himself in front of that woman again. But that's fine. For him who has a strong self-esteem, the more this happens, the more he hates Ren Suya. This is a good thing for her. When the car arrived at the hotel, Ruan Fengru was busy going through the check-in procedures and came over with the room card. She heard Kong Yu muttering dissatisfiedly. "I don't want to live here. It's too bad. I want to stay in a 5-star hotel," Kong Lin continued. "Every time I come to Haishi, I always stay in a 5-star hotel. When have I ever stayed in a 4-star hotel?" Kong Liu's wife looked at Ruan Fengru. "How did you arrange it? Didn't you know that we all stay in 5-star hotels? If there is no 5-star hotel, we won't stay." Ruan Fengru's eyes swept across the three families. Without any rebuttal, they all acquiesced, and her blood couldn't help but surge up again. She didn't want to quarrel with them, so she explained angrily, "I don't have enough money. You just have to settle for one night, and I will change the hotel for you after contacting Lji tomorrow. Don't think I don't know. Reiji gave you a lot of money. You can't even pay for a hotel night. If you don't want to spend money, just say so. Don't use this excuse to fool us," Kong Liu's wife sneered. Kong Loren's wife smiled and said, "Feng, are you? Don't be angry. Your second sister-in-law is outspoken. However, she is right. Our requirements are not high, we just want to stay in a 5-star hotel. You pay the money first, just put it on the mat and ask my uncle for it afterwards. He is a generous man and there is no way he won't give it. Not demanding? 5-star presidential room, isn't it high? Haishi is a first-tier city. A presidential suite costs hundreds of thousands per night, and 4 rooms costs 4 to 5 million. They were really raised by Ren Suya and Konglji's appetite. When Ren's family is dealt with in the future, Konglji must not be allowed to continue to indulge them like this. They must be made to understand who they are living under." Kong Yu pouted, "You are too stingy. Ren Suya always arranges 5-star suites for us. Ren Suya spoils you, but she doesn't." Ruan Fengru put the room card on the coffee table, After contacting Lji, ask him to change your room. I have something else to do, so I won't disturb your rest. After throwing the things down, she left without looking back. The Kong family was dumbfounded. Hey, 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 this woman has become too powerful, right? No, contact my uncle tomorrow and tell her that this woman is very wild. It's really unreasonable. The Kong family cursed, but they were reluctant to spend their own money to stay in a 5-star hotel. If you don't take advantage, you are a fool. The Kong family went upstairs reluctantly. Gao Ying, who had been following them, was amazed by the drama. She walked out of the hotel lounge and got into the Maybach parked outside the door. As soon as she got in the car, she called Ren Ran. Miss, as you expected, they really went to find Ruan Fengruo. You didn't see that those people were so angry that they just left. Gao Ying vividly described the scene she saw to her. Warm reminder, if you find that clicking the next page will force you to jump to other websites, please use the chapter error or contact us at the bottom to let us know. We will deal with it as soon as possible. Thank you for your understanding. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo Yet. Chapter 119. Ren Ran was not surprised at all by this result. She knew the Kong family members very well. In the previous life, when the Ren family was still named Ren, they were suppressed by their scumbag father. They could only ask for money occasionally. Because it was rare, she and her mother didn't need it, so they turned a blind eye for their scumbag father. In front of them, the Kong family would restrain themselves to some extent, not daring to be so arrogant, and would even smile. In front of Ruan Fengruo, they would not be so polite. Mr. Kong should know the news soon. This time when he comes back, he will definitely be squeezed dry by the young lady. When Ren Ran thought of the money that was about to be in hand, she felt very happy. You have worked hard this year, and your bonus will be doubled at the end of the year. Thank you, young lady. Kong Lji, who had just got off the plane, took out his mobile phone, looked at the broken mobile phone that could not be turned on, took a taxi, went to the mall on the way home to buy a mobile phone, saw the jewelry store next to it, asked the clerk to choose 2 jewelry, and left with the bag. After reinstalling the phone card, a series of text messages and missed calls popped up, most of which were from my eldest brother and his friends. Under normal circumstances, my eldest brother and his friends would not call so frequently, and something must have happened. Kong Lji immediately called back, "Brother, what happened?" Kong Loren began to complain after receiving his call, "Old third, your wife sent us all to the police station." "What?" Kong Lji's voice suddenly rose a few notes, which was too surprising. Based on his understanding of his wife, she would never do such a thing. "What's going on?" Hearing Kong Lji's unfriendly tone, Kong Loren felt guilty for no reason, but he still exaggerated and said, "What else could it be? Linlin and his friends just wore Ran Ran's clothes, and Ran Ran was unhappy. They wanted to send us to the police station and put us in jail." Kong Lji only listened to half of this kind of words and would not believe it completely. He still knew what kind of person his eldest brother was. "Where are you now? In a villa or a hotel?" "In a hotel." Speaking of hotels, Kong Loren's wife snatched the phone and began to cry. "Brother-in-law, how can Suya and the others be so cruel? We finally come to Haishi once a year, but she doesn't care about us. In the cold winter, she just dumped us in the police station. Your old lover is not a good person either. She actually arranged a shabby hotel for us and didn't want to spend money at all. You are so good to her." Listening to the complaints of the eldest sister-in-law, Kong Lji frowned more and more. He didn't have time to hear these meaningless words, Which hotel are you staying in now? The other side reported a name, which was not very famous, but it was still a decent hotel. Kongji said directly, I will find someone else to arrange a hotel, and he will contact you. After ending the call with this side, Kongji called Ruan Fengru. When Ruan Fengru saw his call, her voice was choked with sobs. Lji, I'm sorry. What's sorry? Apologize without any reason. Ruan Fengru said in a gentle tone that she was wrong and that she had not arranged for them well. It seemed that she was blaming herself, but in fact she was complaining. However, the means of complaining were n levels higher than those of the Kong family. After hearing this, Kongji was not angry, but distressed. He knew too well what kind of people his sisters-in-law were like. Thank you for your hard work. I will go shopping with you later. You can choose whatever you want to buy. Yes, Ruan Fengru responded shyly, and the next second she changed the topic. Lji, Suya must be very angry for driving them out this time. Yes. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 120. Zhang Yi, that kid, pushed Suya down the stairs. What? Kongji was so shocked that he almost jumped out of the car, the veins on his forehead bulging. How is she? Kongji asked nervously. There are many soft tissue contusions all over the body, and the leg seems to be injured again. The condition is not very good, Ruan Fengru continued to complain. In addition, your niece and sister-in-law want to transfer Ran Ran's necklace worth 180,000 yuan, and the other items worth more. He was forced to take millions of jewelry pieces away, and he was probably very angry. Kongji's face turned as black as a pot sticker, and he was so angry that he almost choked himself to death. These careless people asked them to come over tomorrow, but they came over early. In the past, when he was around, he would suppress it, and even if there was any small friction, he could mediate it. Now that something like this happened, they still looked aggrieved, not knowing what was wrong. Kongji called his assistant and said, no need to arrange a hotel. The assistant didn't understand why Mr. Kong suddenly changed his mind. Hearing his bad tone, he didn't dare to ask more questions and just did as he was told. The Kong family was still waiting to change to a high-end hotel, but unfortunately they couldn't wait. When Kongji rushed back to Kishan Villa, the house was quiet. When he turned on the light, the house was in a mess. There were melon husks and peels everywhere. There were many cigarette butts on the carpet. The Lego piles made by his daughter were all scattered on the floor. The golf clubs are even more scattered here and there. The house was in a mess, as if it had been visited by thieves. Aunt Li, Aunt Li. He shouted a few times. Aunt Li came out of the nanny's room next door and faced Kong Li Jihei with a sullen face. Why don't you clean it? The madam and the young lady told me that there is no need to clean it, just leave it like this. Where are they? Kongji frowned. Aunt Li said cautiously, the old house knew about what happened here and took the lady and young lady away. Kongji's heart skipped a beat, knowing that something bad had happened. The old gentleman and the old lady are very angry. As she said that, Aunt Li turned around and took down a box from the shelf in the living room. She opened the box and found jewelry inside. Kongji recognized at a glance that these jewelry belonged to his wife and daughter. What does it mean? These jewelry pieces were all taken from the bodies of the ladies of Konglin. When they were brought back, several pieces of jewelry had scratches on them, and one necklace seemed to have been cut maliciously. The lady said she didn't want it anymore. Kongji picked up one of them casually, and when he saw the clear scratches on it, his blood pressure surged. He has seen this kind of little tricks before. At first, Konglin and Kongyu used this method when they saw someone they liked, deliberately leaving traces so that Ren Ran could give them the jewelry. He flipped through it casually and saw the ruby and diamond necklace worth 18 million. His blood pressure, which he had finally suppressed, surged again. Konglji told Aunt Lee to clean up the house and immediately drove to the mid-level's villa. As soon as he arrived at the mid-level villa, Konglji cheered up 20%. When he saw Aunt Wang, his face was filled with a flattering smile. Aunt Wang, have Suya and Ran slept? Aunt Wang said politely, the young lady has gone to bed, but the young lady is not yet. As soon as he entered the house, a maid hurried over. Uncle, sir, I want you to go to the study. Kong Li knocked on the door of the study room anxiously. After hearing the answer from inside, he dared to open the door and enter. Looking at the old man standing in front of the French window, Konglji felt anxious, especially when he was silent, which made him even more uneasy. Lji, is there anything we, the Ren family, can do to you that we can't forgive you for? Konglji thought it was because of what happened today, but he didn't know that it had another meaning. This meaning was understood not long after, but by the time he understood it, it was still too late. No, the Ren family is very kind to me. Ren Hungru turned around and stared at him with wise eyes. You are a smart man. There are some things I don't want to ask more about. Suya is my only daughter, the daughter I have grown up holding in my hands. From childhood to adulthood, from she was not wronged. She likes you, and she doesn't hesitate to go against my father for you. She is devoted to you, and because she loves you, even the people in your family are Iwajiwu. Is she qualified as your daughter-in-law? Qualified? No, very, very good. No one will do better than her. Konglji immediately expressed his stance. I don't care how many benefits you have given them over the years. I just hope that they will treat her better because they think Suya is good. This is an old father's love for his daughter. But how did your Kong family treat her? Just because I don't ask, doesn't mean I don't know. I just don't want to embarrass her. You are his husband, what did you do? After being together for so many years, Konglji still knew his father-in-law very well. The calmer he was, the angrier he was. At this time, he was stating calmly, as if he was talking about someone else's business. Dad, I'm sorry, I won't let this happen again. Ren Hungru did not respond and waved his hand. Konglji did not dare to say anything more and withdrew. I wanted to go to the bedroom, but found that the door was locked. This was the first time that she had locked him out. Konglji turned around and went to Renran's room and knocked on the door 3 times. Renran was sitting on the sofa chair when he heard a knock on the door and a smile appeared on his lips. The fat sheep is coming. How to kill it? Where is the better place to strike?